Hi. Hey there. I am Kathleen, and I'm back again for another subchapter from the book that I'm reading as we go through this video is called The Power of Now, and I'm going to be reading the chapters, the subchapters, and all throughout the book until we finish till the end. It is another bright day, and I really just want to check in with everybody. And how are you? And I hope that everybody's having a great day because it's not really about life. It's all in our minds. It's all in our the way that we think in our mindset. And I think how we perceive things and how our perspective is in different things and all sorts of things about life is how we'll always like handle the present of our life, like in the present. So how we are right now and what we don't know yet, what we only know in our knowledge at the moment is how we are going to perceive things unless we have a different experience in our life and then we learn from that and then we adapt it and we have a different perspective again, another added perspective in our life on a daily basis. If you get that, if you get what I mean. The subchapter would be this time is called Enlightenment, Rising Above Thought. And I believe that enlightenment is a really strong word and it connects with vegan, being vegan yoga, meditation, and enlightenment, and so forth. It says in the book that ego is one of the things that really hindrances us to our present, like living in the present, since our past and future is what we're always on about, especially with our ego. Like we are in our past and in our present. So we have this ego of like self expectation. So when we say like, oh, my past I was like this and in my future I want to be like this, but we tend to be lazy or procrastinate in the present. So that's what's happening with our productivity, our movements in our lives, and what we want to be productive about and achieve in the present is that we tend to have our ego and we couldn't really stay focused on what's really on the present and what is really needed to be focused on at the present. So I believe that if we try to lessen the ego and then as well as it can work, and then it also says that ego is aware of being in the present, but then we let it get the best of us, just like in the past videos that I have tackled. And then yeah, the very key to liberation, the very key is to be at the present, to liberate ourselves. And I think that that is really wonderful to have read that. To stay at the present is to liberate ourselves, is to free ourselves, is the ultimate freedom and the pathway towards being enlightened. Like, wow, like that's an enlightenment right there, like total freedom. And I've heard and I have been spoken to by one of my greatest friends, the one that shared me this book, is he told me, get out of your mind. In a most like non-harsh way, in the most like very encouraging and effective way that he actually did is he man up. He stood up as my brother and my best friend and as well as my really great friend, and then he told me that get out of your mind. Is just don't get in too much into it because our mind is sometimes very damaging, especially when we keep on repeating those thoughts that are not ours. Yeah, those unwanted thoughts that we don't want to have it, but we tend to have it and think about it and repeatedly like bullying ourselves and damaging our thoughts and all that is we really have to say like get out of our own mind, not just hearing it from someone else, but it is also helpful to hear it from someone else and to also hear it from your own self. Like, we have to get out of our own mind. And thought or thinking, on the other hand, is different from consciousness. They both are not similar, they're different. And how it is because the way we think and our consciousness, sometimes they don't align, and most of the time they don't align. It's because thought and thinking is just a small ounce of consciousness. And how would I explain that? Is because sometimes when we think and when we think of things like our thoughts and our thought processes and all that, it doesn't really align with being conscious. Sometimes we just think about it and that's about it, you know? We don't really insert a lot of like awareness in our thoughts and our thinking. Like, we just tend to think of something and then we say it and then we do an action of it and it results to something else more tragic. But then when we have consciousness in our thought patterns and the way we are and the way we say things and the way we do things after with consciousness and act upon it, is giving a lot of self-awareness and a lot of like understanding about the situation or the matter. So that's how I understood this part of the subchapter, and that's really great. As you can see, I have a teal tattooed here of an armband. All right, let's get into it again. This last part of the subchapter is really cool, and I really think that this can help a ton of people, like everybody, not just me, not just myself. And I really, really love this part, and it's called mental quietude. I think that is a really great word, quietude. And we all just know like attitude and all that stuff and all those words that answer to gratitude. Yeah. And I think that quietude is really what we have to, what we really have to know and learn as well. Mental quietude means to have a quietness in your day or in a period or time of your day, in your state of mind, have that form of silence, quietness, and stillness in yourself. And it usually creates or forms creativity. I'm just speechless with that, and I think that that is so true. Especially like an example that I can insert here is that when we don't do anything or we do nothing in our day, like let's say we have done everything, all of our errands, we have run through them, we have went to our like the places that we wanted to go, we've done everything, the chores, the house chores and everything else, we have done it, we are done for the day, and we are just left with a lot of time of the day, and we just left to do nothing. And basically I think that this is the perfect example for this, is that creativity happens when we are in our stillness of our mind and we're not doing anything, and that's how we can be productive as well. Like they say that doing nothing is productive. Why? And this must be it. Like, mental quietude creates or forms creativity. So I believe that being quiet in your mind and have inner stillness in your soul, in yourself, is how we form creativity. And also proper way of thinking things and then saying things after and doing an action. I learned from that, and hopefully you learn from this too. So yeah, that's about it for the subchapter right now, and let's get down to the rest in the next video, and I will be back shortly. Hey, though.